Hello, welcome to Mountain Gym Card Collectibles. So I hope you're ready for the Super Bowl tomorrow. I'm hoping that Seattle defeats the New England Patriots. I'm a big Seattle Seahawks fan, always have been. If you're a Seahawks fan, during the 80s, you're just used to always getting beat up all the time, always getting your hopes up just to have them, fall down a big chasm. So I'm crossing my fingers that they can pull it off. Anyway, I have another issue that's popped up, and that is resistance to Michael Rubin, Topps Fanatics, and their retail products. And I love it, I mean, when I come on X, it's just like it's my world. And you might go, what do I mean? Well, there's a lot of people who put out negative stuff about Topps Fanatics daily. I mean, there's just so much. I mean, it's just, I can choose this one. I can choose that one. I mean, everyone's figured it out for the most part that Topps Fanatics is bad for the hobby. And I know there's a lot of monetized channels, who push sports cards that just want you to just go with the flow. You know what I mean? Just go with the flow. Just be a peasant in this market. Just get your scraps, get your singles, get your crappy overpriced retail that doesn't have any good chase cards. Just go with the flow, Why? Well, they have a monetized channel. They can afford to rip products day and night for the most part, but not you. I mean, you're just a peasant in this market, just like me for the most part. I mean, we're all peasants to an extent because most of us likely do not own breaking companies, all right? And since Michael Rubin has decided to go out of his way to create a company that's holding the secondary market hostage, with Fanatics Collect, Fanatics Live, always favoring breakers over consumers, he's just trying to hoard all the wealth in this monopoly to himself, all right? It is what it is. And, you have channels that stick up for it. Yeah, this is how they make their living. Well, making a living's one thing, and fleecing the consumer day and night for everything they have is something much different, okay? And so a lot of sports card channels on YouTube, they just more or less say, go with the flow. And I would say, don't go with the flow. In fact, I would say boycott Topps Fanatics products. Do not buy them. And the more that you withhold spending cash on Topps Fanatics, the sooner change is going to occur for the market. All right. And what this is we're trying to get Topps Fanatics to go out of business. It's that simple. All right. And, it's not just me, though. I mean, you can point your fingers at me and you can thumbs down my videos like a lot of people do because, I'm just such a big troll, aren't I? Because I'm not sticking up for a big U.S. greedy corporation that does nothing but steamroll over their consumers, all right? Hey, and I know what's going around these days. You don't love America? Well, then move away. All right. Well, I grew up in America where it was affordable, okay? I didn't grow up in an America where it was all about fleecing Americans day and night, whether it's their power bills, whether it's their food, whether it's just something as simple as collecting cards, So I guess I'm a little surprised how different social media has become in the last 3 years in regards to sports cards, because there are just going to be so many people like me out here. And I know that, the big channels on YouTube don't want you to believe that, but all you have to do is set up an account on X and you can read all the stuff yourself, There is so much negativity being directed towards Michael Rubin, Topps Fanatics, and the whole hobby in general. I just love it. It's like a bonfire for the most part. So I found this post, and I think it's great, because the resistance is beginning to really, show their faces more, show their feelings more, show what they're all about in regards to Michael Rubin's greediness and selfishness in the hobby. So to begin with, we have this picture of this found Thomas Sagis, RDPA, and guess who found this? Bobby Witt Jr. Big surprise, because we all know how things go with Topps Fanatics. I mean, you have to be a breaking company. You have to be a celebrity. You have to really, be a wealthy person to be welcomed into this club to get good cards. And if you're not that person, if you're just a normal consumer like me, well, you can expect to get a whole lot of nada. Not a damn thing, Anyway, so this was just posted 4 hours ago, and this comes from Baseball Cards. And I really like the way he's putting this out here, because he understands it too. If you don't understand commerce, you'll always be scratching your head on why the prices keep going up with Topps Fanatics, and their monopoly. But either way, here we go. Are you still wondering if Topps knows where all the assets are? According to the debut patch authority, KC Royal superstar Bobby Witt Jr. has found the Thomas Sagisi. This comes to us as they're getting ready to release 2026 Series 1, while 2025 Chrome Update sits on the shelves. Why is Update still on the shelf? I'd say there's more than one reason. First is the price. 2024 Chrome Update was $50. This year it's $70. It's 40% more expensive, but not 40% better. Second is the contents. The 2025 checklist is overrun with a ton of rookies that never would have gotten cards in past years. The amount of fillers and throwaways is disappointing. Third is the production. Topps really put their printing into overdrive for the 2025 season. The increase in quantity over 2024 is rumored to be 67%, which I'm not sure if that's true or not, but man, that's quite the increase in production, year over year. Last for now is the allocation. We might have been excited to try to get a patch in our boxes, but that was destroyed when breakers started showing off their found patches. BS Breaker 1 got 3 in a row on the first day. BS Breaker 2 got 3 in a different day. We are tired of all this. We don't want to pay 40% more for an astronomically high print run of a product that appears compromised. I was at Target last night along with UFC Chrome Megas was 2025 Chrome Update Megas and Series 2 blasters, fat packs and hangers, and a ton of Archives blasters. But hey, Bobby Witt Jr. just got a debut patch, a card that we would all talk about for the rest of our lives. Care to join me in No Retail Rip 26? Yeah, I mean, the resistance is definitely shaping up here, And if you want to help the hobby out, I'd say boycott Topps Fanatics at this point. Boycott everything that has to do with their new products. Now, that's just me. I'm a big, troll for Topps and Fanatics and Michael Rubin. Anyone knows that who knows my channel, but there's getting to be a lot of other trolls, almost like gremlins, And you might go, well, Jim, are you the guy that's, pouring water on the gremlins? Well, I'm really not, I don't even have to. They are just sprouting up by themselves. Anyway, so here's the first reply. All of this is why we've pivoted to collecting PC singles this year. This isn't because we're not getting massive hits in all boxes we'd open. With box prices steadily increasing, watching boxes getting released with less hits than previous year and recent bad optics with the perceived Topps breakers relationships, it's making us feel like we're intentionally getting handed a watered-down product. There's still nothing quite like getting a great card in a pack, but right now for us, there's more value and fun in just collecting single cards we really want. Exactly. I mean, The singles market is there for a reason. And if you can find your card and not spend the amount of money that you would in a product, you're going to be happier, especially with what's going on with Topps Fanatics, and favoring their, Fanatics live breakers. I like this. If I join the resistance, can I still buy junk wax? I've been trying for the 90 score Bo Jackson. Yeah. Keep buying the 90s stuff. When I watch people ripping stuff on YouTube, I'm watching more people rip the old junk wax than modern. It relates more to me than modern does. I've joined you, my friend. Not ripping until it gets under control and playing field is level. Yeah. And that's just it. I see more and more people, talking like this. My Walmart had rows of chrome yesterday. Just kept walking. Yep. Retail products are really just starting to pile up at my Target and Walmart as well. Especially Topps Series 2 for one reason. Man, nobody wants Series 2 this year, it seems like. It just sits there and collects dust. Well, by the look of it, he was ripping Breaker Delight boxes. Not sure the rant about retail. Well, that's the thing is, to me, there really shouldn't be any retail products because it becomes clearer and clearer how Topps Fanatics looks at its retail products over its hobby products. Its hobby products are only meant for breaking companies, big celebrities, so they can hoard in that secondary market with the best of the best cards. When it comes to the retail products, they're just giving you trash. They don't really even want to give you any big hits. It's just burning the consumer to no end with retail. And retail used to treat consumers a lot better. It would give them better cards. And so I understand this push to not buy retail, but really it should be a push to not buy anything from Topps Fanatics. Don't buy their hobby. Don't buy their Breakers Delight. Don't buy their jerseys. Really don't buy into their breaks on, Fanatics Collect. It's that simple. And eventually they're going to dry up and have to move on, But that's really for people who want to change this hobby, because, if you look at the big YouTube channel gurus, they're just kind of go with the flow guys, because they don't want to hurt Topps Fanatics' feelings, When Mike Trout pulled his own Bowman first auto, I knew then that there was no limit to what they could do. Yeah, that's a bad look, isn't it? It just really is, It just speaks of this really negative view of elites only, in this hobby, Elites only. You have to be an elite to enjoy this hobby. You have to have a lot of money. It's just so exhausting. This guy. I have 2 boxes of Optic I ordered a few weeks ago, as well as a box of Select coming the first week of March. After that, I may be finished as well. I love ripping wax, but watching breakers get all the hits and knowing that Topps is behind it, I just can't justify giving them my money. Yeah, and neither can I. It's just, it feels like theater, sports card theater every time that you hop on, Fanatics Collect, And they like to gatekeep people who can even get in there. It's not for the general public. You have to, have a membership. And I understand why, because when you get in there, it's really ugly. It really is, The quality of Fanatics and Topps is 1 star. Just skip it. Garbage owner and his ideas are trash. Yeah, I saw some just negative stuff about Michael Rubin today that was even more negative, than anything I've seen. I wouldn't even put it on my channel because it's going to be that negative. But, what is about Michael Rubin, and everyone just piling on this need to just throw him under the bus for the most part. And that's because he took away our hobby. He stole our hobby. This one, they are laughing at us. Yeah, they are. Michael Rubin, he's the guy that destroyed this hobby. Can't say he didn't. And What am I noticing? Well, there's a lot more people back on the stock market these days. If you've been keeping up with that, I was on the stock market yesterday. The stock market's kind of fun, to be honest. It seems more fun to an extent than trying to, collect cards. To me, the stock market can be a hobby. It's an enjoyable hobby. You win, you lose. I think more and more people are seeing it that way. I mean, here's the thing about the stock market too, is you can hop on the stock market, get an account, whatever. With $10, you can have a lot of fun on the stock market, just buying penny stocks or whatever. You're making some money. So even the investing side, I believe the investors are going to start to pull away from sports cards for a lot of reasons as well. And I know that Michael Rubin and all the breaking companies and all the monetized, YouTube sports card channels, they don't want you to know that, and I can understand why. I mean, I think people looked at sports cards like, hey, that's a great investment. The problem with sports card investing is too many cards just go to zero. As an investor myself, I've said it before. When I look at cards, I just believe cards should be cards and investments should be investments. A lot of times those investments, like stocks on the stock market are safer because, the Wander Franco really, comes to mind, doesn't it? People investing money in the Wander Franco autos and this and that, only to just lose everything. Those people would have been better off just putting that money in the stock market, buying stock, They probably would have had more fun. I guess I just love to see more and more Topps fanatics, gremlins, or trolls on social media. It makes me happy. And as this hobby continues to go the way it is, you're going to see more and more and more of those posts on social media where people are just more or less boycotting the product. Don't buy, don't buy, don't buy. And I was sitting in, because they know just like I know. That's the only way you can change this, Once the sports leagues start going, how come we're not making our revenue from sports cards like we were? Oh, it's because Topps Fanatics has totally ruined the sports card market. Well, they just might decide to pull the plug and find a different company that can hold the sports card licensing, or find multiple companies again, because that's really the way it should be. Is you should not have one company holding a license, for sports leagues and their sports cards, Anyway. I'd like to thank my viewers. Thanks for watching. I'd like to thank my subscribers. You're the only reason I do this because, as you know, I'm not monetized. And I believe YouTube likes it that way. I've noticed that too, where it just seems like I'm getting pushed more non-monetized channels in my feed lately. Anyway. Well, I hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great Super Bowl. I'm out of here. Bye.